So now that we have your peg toy all assembled, we're going to do our drawing sheets like we did on paper, but now in Onshape. So we are going to do our little plus and create drawing. So it's going to open up this window where it has like some templates. I tried using creating our own template, but it would just like freeze up the computer. So we're going to do a custom template. And for border, you're going to do not include, and title block, do not include. And then everything else is going to stay how it is. And we're going to hit OK. So this will basically give you a blank sheet. So now it's asking us what part do you want to bring in. Sometimes like if you first open it, it might just look like this. This insert view is how we bring in a part by clicking insert. We are going to start with our hammerhead because this is probably the most complex one. So we're going to get that done with first. So you can kind of see that it has a shape stuck to your mouse, and this is what we want to place as our front view. So in our lower left corner, we're going to click where we want it. And now if I move my mouse, it has a shape stuck to it again, and that's our top view. And now I want to place my right view. So if I click our front view and move to the right, it'll populate our right view, and I can click to place it, which it looks basically like our front view. And then I'm going to click our front view and go at an angle to get our isometric view. So because you're going like straight off of them, it knows what view you want to do. So I'm going to double click on our hammerhead. All right, so I'm going to double click on our hammerhead and it brings up this property. So one thing we're going to change is the scale. We're going to do 1 to, oh, not 1 to 1, 1 to 2. So it's like half scale. So it's a little bit bigger to work with. So there is our scale all set. So we need to do our dimensions and turn on hidden lines to make this be a correct drawing sheet. So basically all of the dimensions we use to make our shape is what we're going to need to add on here. So here's our dimension tool. So I'm going to start with doing the height of it. So that is 5 inches. I'm going to do the height of this little side piece because that was 0.75, so on the top and the bottom. So when you are doing dimensions, I'll go across the top here. I'm going to click the first line I want to dimension from, the second line, and now this dimension is stuck to my mouse. Wherever I click is just where it places it. So you just want to place it in a general good spot. Remember, we don't want to put it on top of stuff where we can't see. We want it on the outside. So there is our width of it. Let's get in and do our little circles here. So I can click the circle and it's going to do the radius because it is not a full circle. So it's going to show the radius of it. We can do our hole and that's going to show the diameter. And that should be everything that we need because those are all of those same numbers that we used to make it. We do need to add a couple of things. So we need to show that this hole is cutting all the way through. So I'm going to turn off my dimension tool and I'm going to click my right view and then right click on it. I'm going to show hide hidden lines. It should now add to show that that hole is going all the way through. We do also need to add a little note about that rounded edge that we did. So I'm going to move up here. And in the middle, I'm just going to add a little note that says, I think we did a fillet. So if you did a fillet or a chamfer, you'd be able to write that at 0.1 at top / bottom. And I'm going to stretch this out. And that's a good little note right there. So it's just telling them that you'd add that. That's what that little line is there. We also need to add in your name. So I'm going to grab a text. And it's going to be your name. And then we want to name the part also. It's just good practice so that people know what part they're looking at. So this is hammerhead of which project, Peg Toy. So that'll kind of be our setup for all of our naming of these things. It'll have your name, the part name, and then the project name. And I'm going to make this bold. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Sure. All right, so there is our first sheet. So we can do all of our drawing sheets in this one drawing tab. So if we click this little button here, it opens up all of our sheets. So I'm going to rename this sheet Hammerhead. That way I know that that's there, and I'm going to add a new sheet right into here. So this is going to be our Peg Toy base. So for our base, we're going to bring that in. So again, it'll give us our front view. We move straight up, it gives us the top view. If I click the front view again, it'll give me the side view. And then front view again to get the isometric. And then I'm going to turn that off. So your task now is to add in the dimensions that we need to make this a full drawing sheet and add in your name, base, Peg Toy, labeling on here. So you're going to do that one on your own. So I'm going to call this base. Our next sheet is going to be of our pegs. So since our pegs are really simple, we are going to do them all in one sheet. So I'm going to do the circle. So this is the front view and the top view, because that's really all that we would need for it. And then the isometric, just to show that it's the circle one. I can add in our other, let's do our square. So our square, the top of our square, and then our isometric. We're going to add in our circle, or no, triangle. So the front view, the top view, and the isometric. I wonder, can we fit our hammer handle in here too? Because that one is also a very simple. We might scale down the size a little bit, but the handle, the top, and the isometric. So to make this fit, I'm going to make the handle a smaller scale down here, 1:4, 1:5. And then I can just reposition those. So you can add your dimensions that you need, making sure that you're not over dimensioning anything. And then you can label each, like square peg, circle peg, triangle peg, hammer handle, and add your name. So that is your third sheet. So I'm just going to rename this pegs and handle. Your next sheet, we have all of our parts done. Our individual parts are all in there that you'll be adding your dimensions to. So we're just going to add in our assembly. And we're just going to do one big picture, but we want it to be at an angle. So this is like the front view of it. We're going to change our view orientation to isometric and check mark. So we're just going to call this sheet our assembly. So you are adding dimensions to our base and our pegs and handle, labeling, giving your name and the name of the project in there for all of these sheets. And now we are going to walk through how to turn these in. So these sheets are what you are submitting to Schoology. So if you right click on drawing one, you can do export, and you're going to call it Peg Toy Drawings, and you can add your name. And so it's going to be a PDF. Let's see, color. It'll go to your download, export. So it should download. It's saying it's working on it, and we'll see it right there. You can open it up. Oh, we didn't add color to any of our drawings. That's okay. But then you'll submit this, you'll upload this file to Schoology once you're all done with all of them, once it's all filled out and complete.